Hello, as you already know, my name is Kainton, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the big O notation clearly explained, because I see many textbooks and many videos, they try to explain the big O notation assuming that you already know what it means, or you have an idea of what it means. But in this case, I'm assuming you are a complete beginner, you don't have any knowledge of big O notation or the time complexity of functions or of algorithms. So let's get started. Before I continue, I would like to remind you to subscribe to my channel. At least you subscribe and you encourage me to make more lessons for you, because I make these lessons for free and I actually make it based on requests by my subscribers. So any lesson you want me to make, any concept you want me to explain, mention it in the comment box and I will make this lesson for you. So just click on subscribe to get going. Okay, so what is the big O notation? Before we actually go into anything technical, I would like to let you have some theoretical or some background knowledge of this big O notation. One, it is a notation used to describe the time it takes for an algorithm to execute. The reason is because computers run based on algorithms or programs. Of course, programs are based on algorithms, so we want to reduce the time it takes for these algorithms to execute. So big O notation is used to describe how long does it take for an algorithm to execute. It helps us to see relationship between the execution of algorithm and the input to the algorithm. So more like the relationship between time and the input. So let me take my pen so that I can make a notation. So relationship between time, let's say t, and input, n, or number of input as it were, right? So if we take, for example, we have a graph like this, and we have, let's say, time is here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is input that is also growing, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you want your algorithm to have a time like this, In this case, it's growing very gradually, so even as it gets to this place, it's still at a later time, and it grows like this. You don't want to design an algorithm that will grow this way, because this half the time is increasing really much. So you want an algorithm that will grow, the time will be increasing in a very small rate, and that is the concept we are trying to describe. However, I would like to let you know that this big O is also called Landau's symbol. It's called Landau's symbol, which comes from the name of the German mathematician Edmund Landau, who invented the notation. All right, let's now look at some common time complexity. By time complexity, I mean what the big O notation is trying to describe, or relationship between time, execution time of the algorithm is called time complexity. So the first one you need to know is a constant time complexity. In this case, the algorithm executes in a constant time. There is no relationship between the input and the time. No relationship. What am I writing? Between input and time. So in this case, is order of sorry, this is not order of n. Let me erase this. So when it's this case, we have order of 1. So when there is no relationship between the input and the time, we have order of 1. So if you have a function that simply, let's say, print x, or print hello world, In this case, execution time of this algorithm is order of 1 because it doesn't depend on the inputs. It depends on something, not the inputs. It just prints out something on the screen. So when it's time complexity of 1, it will have a graph like this. If we have t in this axis and input in this axis, let's say n, then the time will be like this. It will grow like this. So it doesn't really depend on the time. Whatever the input is, whatever the value of x is, whether x is 100 or 200 or 400, t does not increase. So that is why we say for algorithms like this, basically for algorithms that doesn't have any loop, then we have time complexity of 1. So I want you to get this one very clear. Constant time complexity. So for most algorithm, we want to design it so that the algorithm has a constant time complexity. Let's now look at another one, linear time complexity. In this case, the time grows linearly with the input. So if we want to sketch it, we'll have something like this. Let me take my pen. So we have time on this axis and we have input on this axis. So as input is increasing, time is increasing in a linear manner. So in this case, we have order of n because the input or the time is a function of the input. It increases linearly, right? And that is fine in a straight line. So in this case, if we have a loop or just one loop for I is equal to 3, 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, there is a C sharp, or then we have print I. So it prints I. In this case, it executes how many times? As much as we have I. So n times is going to execute. So for the first time it executes, for the second time until n. So in this case, remember print something executes in O of 1, but in this case we have it will execute n times n, right? So in this case we have order of n. Alright, it will become clearer as we go. So we have quadratic time complexity. In this case, the input grows quadratically. Let me explain how it is. Take note that the first one is better than the second, the better than this, and so on. So we have quadratic time should be something like this. So it's not a straight line, something like a curve, So in this case, let me tell you what it means. We have, when we have a nested loop, while I is equal to n, while j is equal to n, then we have print I times j. So end while. So in this case we have nested loop and we have the internal loop takes n, the external loop takes n, and that means it's order of n squared. So anytime you have nested loop in the algorithm, always know that it's order of n squared. There is no particular rule of thumb that you use to know calculate exactly when you are given a particular problem. It simply means you need to understand a little about the algorithm, and from there you'll be able to deduce. So I'm telling you now, if there is an internal loop, then it's order of n squared. If we have a while loop, there is while loop and we have another while loop, right? So in this case we'll have two while loops that is side by side. It is not nested. So in this case we have order of n plus order of n. and in this case is also order of n, because if it gives us 2 order of n, 2 is a constant and we don't need it, so it's the same as order of n. So, but that is not what happened here. But if it's an internal loop, then it's order of n squared. Then there is another very good time complexity, logarithmic time complexity. It's difficult to actually write a program easily at this point to do it, but one thing you need to know, very, very important, is that binary search has a complexity of order of log n. Of order of log n. So take note of this, and also insertion sort, no, binary search has order of n, and that is how it is. And also there another sorting algorithm that has order of n. Insertion sort, bubble sort, no. So basically binary search. So this is basically what time complexity is all about. This is how to find out the big O notation, and giving some examples. And now I'm going to stop here. Hope you understand it. I'd like to thank you for viewing, and also click and subscribe to let me know you enjoy it, and also like and make comments. Let me know what you like me to make videos on.